What is going on, everybody? We are back with another video, and today I want to hop straight into this. We're reading out of the Passion Translation, of course. If you have one, pull it out. If you don't have one, get you one. It's so good. But you can pull out any Bible to hop right into this with us, or you can just watch the video if you're eating lunch, if you're whatever it is you're doing. I say you just hop right into this with us. Today, I wanted to talk about how we treat people less than us, because a lot of us are taught growing up that homeless people or people less fortunate than us in general don't deserve some of the things that we do or that we have. And this could be for a multitude of reasons. This is like we're taught, oh, don't give this homeless person $10 because he'll take it and use it for drugs, or don't give this guy a job because he comes from this background and acts this way, and just all the things you could think of whenever you treat somebody less fortunate than you in a way you wouldn't treat yourself, or in a way that you wouldn't want to be treated if you were in that position. Excuse me. And so Jesus talks about this with a beautiful parable, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit too. And before we hop right into the story of the rich man and Lazarus, I wanted to kind of read off some of the message that he was giving the Pharisees before he tells the parable, because it talks a lot about us as Christians. And the second half will pertain to everybody. Well, it all pertains to everybody, but as Christians, this first half is something that we should know, and it's something that we should hold dear to our hearts. I'm not going to do too much talking. I'll go ahead and hop right into it. But it says, now the religious leaders listening to Jesus were lovers of money. They laughed at what he said and mocked his teachings. So Jesus addressed them directly. You always want to look spiritual in the eyes of others. Sorry, let me scoot back a little bit. You always want to look spiritual in the eyes of others. But you have forgotten the eyes of God, which see what is inside you, not just what you're showing. Sorry, I keep losing my spot every time I look back up. The very things you approve of and applaud are the things God despises. The law of Moses and the revelation of prophets have prepared you for the arrival of the kingdom announced by John. Since that time, the wonderful news of God's kingdom is being preached, and the people's hearts burn with extreme passion to receive it. Heaven and earth will Heaven and earth will be gone before even the smallest detail of the law will fail or lose its power. Before the law fails or loses its power, there would be no kingdom. And there will always be a kingdom of heaven, which means the law of Moses and the revelations will never lose their power. It says, it is wrong for you to divorce your wife so that you can marry another. That is adultery. And when you take that one you lusted after as your wife and contribute to the breakup of their marriage, you've committed adultery again. Think about the first half of that. A lot of us Christians like to walk around and act like we're spiritual and we're children of God and we follow the law and we do all of these things right. But God sees what's inside of us, and we forget to impress the eyes of God and not the people around us. And that goes right into the adultery. If you have a girl that you love and you've been with her forever, I know most of us my age aren't married, so I say it like this: if you have a girl that you love, but you find another girl that you're lusting over, and you leave the one you love for the one you're lusting over, and then contribute to their breakup, you just committed 2 forms of adultery. We're worried about the eyes of God, not the people around us. And let's hop into the parable that we're talking about today. This is the rich man and Lazarus. This pertains to how we treat the people lesser than us, the people less fortunate than us. It says, Jesus continued, "There once was a very rich man who had the finest things imaginable, living every day, enjoying his life, living his life of opulent luxury. Outside the gate of his mansion was a poor beggar named Lazarus. He lay there every day, covered with boils, and the neighborhood dogs would come and lick his open sores. The only food he had to eat was garbage that the rich man threw away. One day, poor Lazarus died, and the angels of God came and escorted his spirit into paradise. The day came that the rich man also died. In hell, he looked up from his torment and saw Abraham in the distance, and Lazarus was standing beside him in glory. The rich man shouted, 'Father Abraham, have mercy on me. Send Lazarus to dip his finger in water and come cool my tongue, for I am in agony in these flames of fire.' But Abraham responded, 'My friend, don't you remember? While you were alive, you had all you desired. You surrounded yourself in luxury, while Lazarus had nothing. Now Lazarus dwells in the comfort of paradise, and you are in agony. Besides, between us is a huge chasm that cannot be bridged, nor can anyone cross from one realm to the other if he even wanted to.' The rich man continued, 'Then let me ask you, Father Abraham, please send Lazarus to my relatives. Tell him to witness to my 5 brothers and warn them not to end up where I am, in this place of torment.' Abraham replied, 'They've already have plenty of warning. They have the teachings of Moses and the revelation of the prophets. Let them hear.'" You remember we were just talking about how the revelations and the law of Moses and the prophets, it will never die. It will always be powerful. He said He said Abraham replied, "They've already had plenty of warning." This pertains to us too. "What if they're not listening?" The rich man added. "If someone from the dead were to go and warn them, they would surely repent." Abraham said to them, "If they wouldn't listen to Moses and the prophets, neither would they be convinced someone were raised from the dead." Think about that. This man Lazarus sat outside of the rich man's home and just wanted food or clothes, or maybe some aid for his wounds that the dogs were licking at every single day. And that man died out there. The rich man woke up after his death, tormented in hell. That could be you, not the rich man. The rich man could be you. Sad to say, but Lazarus could be any of us, could be all of us. Imagine you needed dire help. You were less fortunate than your neighbor. And he sat there inside the luxury of his mansion and all his possessions, everything he could ever want or need, while you're outside his house dying. This teaches us to treat everybody as we'd want to treat ourselves. One of the biggest commandments is to love your neighbor as you love yourself, or later on, love your neighbor as you love God. We're taught growing up that the homeless man outside could be dangerous. He could take your money and go get drugs. But in reality, those people need help just as much as you would. And what if he does go get drugs? What if he does go do something that you didn't intend for him to do with that money. It doesn't matter. It's about the will that's in your heart. Because Jesus commands us to love everybody as we love ourselves. So when we turn our back on the less fortunate, we're turning our back on Jesus. It's just like a lustful sin, or it's just like murder. You might as well have killed the guy. And it may not be that deep with your $5 bill, but it's deeper than you think. We all should love people the way we want to be loved. What if we're the most fortunate people in the world and we never found the love that we were looking for? I think this is a beautiful passage. And I think the Passion Translation does a beautiful job of explaining that even the less fortunate are of equal value as us. That's really all I got for this video. I'll catch you on the next one.